Welcome to another episode of Don Davis Real Estate Show. It's your host, Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, broadcasting live here from Houston, Texas. A special guest in the studio today, Miss LaShonda Johnson, going to talk to us about financial literacy, and that's definitely one of the most important issues that we're having in the economy today. So I'd like to first of all say welcome, Miss LaShonda. How are you today?
Hi, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I'm wonderful. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome. I mean, we crossed paths the other day, and your presentation was so enlightening that I definitely had to have you in on the show because a lot of people need to hear exactly what's going on. You touched on a lot of things, and I don't want to preach your sermon, but you were preaching to me, you were preaching to my clients, and that's why I invited you on the show. And I also want to talk on some luxury real estate that we always talk about on our show. People say, Don, well, that's an oxymoron that you're able to talk about financial literacy, and then you're mentioning luxury homes. And I hate to say it, everybody who has money is not financially literate. People always tend to think you're talking to poor people when you talk about financial literacy.
Yes. No, that's not accurate. Okay, so people who have money don't know about money.
Yes.
And people who don't have money don't know about money.
Exactly.
Yes, so financial illiteracy is not just specific to one particular social economic group.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what I'm finding is you said something that you touched on something in that seminar the other day that really said a lot to me. And I can go into preach mode, but I like what you said. A credit report is a character report.
Correct.
Absolutely. And a character report, share on that what you were saying. A credit report does what? What does it say about a person?
Well, lately here, if anybody's kind of taking a look around them, you're seeing a lot of emphasis being placed on credit repair. And myself, first of all, I'm a certified financial educator. I am a licensed financial professional, and I've also been trained and certified in teaching adults about finances.
Okay.
And so this is my 10th year of practice.
Wow.
And so I've seen quite a bit. And I became to be a professional in this industry because of mistakes I made myself personally.
Exactly.
So I'm speaking to people based on life experiences that I've had. I mean, my own personal life experiences brought me to the place that I am right now. And being able to receive education. I didn't grow up receiving education from my parents about how money works.
Well, you mentioned that no college or university even educates on that. Is that correct?
Colleges do not have a curriculum for personal financial money management. I'm sure you went to college.
Yeah, I went to college, and I'm trying to think.
Did they teach you anything about
budgeting? No, I don't think they did. I think they told us we need to make our money last through the weekend because the cafeteria was closed on the weekend. That's what they told us in college.
If that's the extent of the education that we're getting in college, you can see why we have a financial illiteracy problem.
Exactly.
But back to your previous question, we were talking about at the presentation that we did just Thursday. You and I had a chance to meet for the very first time.
Yes.
And I was talking about there's this big emphasis on credit repair.
Correct.
And so you have to understand that if you do not deal with your character, and sometimes there are actual situations on your credit that actually need to be corrected.
Correct.
Maybe that there's something erroneously been placed there. Maybe something is there that should have been wiped off months ago or years ago or whatever. But a lot of situations that people are having with their finances is because of bad character with personal money management.
So that character is what we always talk about. If somebody wins the lotto today, 9 times out of 10 within the next 10 years they'll be broke again. Is that
exactly? You're gonna deal with money the best way you know how.
Exactly.
So I don't care if you have $5, if you have $5 million. The way you handle money is going to be based on your personal knowledge of how to handle that money. So if you're going to blow 5, you'll blow 5 million.
Exactly.
And I mean that's statistically been proven. We can see that.
And so what we've done with our real estate company and our niche and how we tie all in together, we have found that home ownership is somewhat of a Damascus moment. It's something that's worth it to change for.
Yes.
If nobody has a reason to change, then they won't change. As a matter of fact, as I tell everybody, I attend Lakewood Church, and I'm always going to give a shout out to Pastor Joe. He preached today on being buried alive. And being buried alive is when you think that your finances are done. There's no chance you can ever own a home. There's no chance you could ever change your spending habits. There's no chance you can change. But the book of Ezekiel said, he prophesied to the dry bones. He said, get up and walk. And so get up and walk means you have to look at the circumstances at hand.
Absolutely.
And decide that, you know what, I tried it this way and it's just not worth it for me to continue, like you say, the definition of insanity, to do the same thing and expect different results. So you guys provide certified training to help people change these habits after they make that decision. Now, funny, the producer and I was just talking about prison ministry and things like that. Some people come out rehabilitated in prison, but some people get out and do the same thing again.
Absolutely.
Have you experienced that where you got somebody come through your training, come through your financial training, said, hey, we're going to do it different. LaShonda, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then as soon as you get them the good credit and then you see them 2 years later and then back to square one?
That happens. Again, first of all, I do have to say that I'm just ecstatic about being able to actually be a part of the National Campaign for Financial Literacy through World System Builder. I've been a part of World System Builder now this is my 10th year. And our National Campaign for Financial Literacy is actually in its 3rd year of inception. This January was 3 years.
And the goal is 1 million?
The goal is to educate 1 million people by 2020. This is 2019.
Wow, and that's very similar. I'm a part of an organization called HBREA, and we're looking to establish homeownership in Black America again, and we're looking to have 1 million homeowners by that same goal.
Okay, so we're going to work together.
Yes, we're going to work together, definitely.
So, but you can't own a home if you don't know how to manage your personal finances.
Exactly.
They're not giving away homes.
Well, let me say this, and that's the unfortunate part of the movies we mentioned the other day, like The Big Short and things like that, is you can own a home without being financially mature,
keep it.
But you can't keep
it.
So your job is not only help people get to the position where they can own a home, but where you, like you said, you're not a slave to the mortgage, where you're not.
Absolutely. So one of the things that people do when they come to see me and my colleagues is we help them to figure out their goals.
Exactly.
And everyone wants to have a part of the American dream, which is to own a home. But from your experience as being a broker, it's more than a notion. You don't just jump into a home. You have to be financially prepared. And getting back to what we were talking about character, a lender is basing a decision if they're going to loan you money based on your character and how you deal with money.
Absolutely.
And they can only determine that by looking at your credit, by looking at how you've established yourself, how you've paid your bills. And then they're looking at your personal finances. What have you saved?
Exactly. Speaking of that, I know it's ironic. People assume that blacks don't save or blacks are not financially literate, but I did have a client this year, 28 years old, young black couple, put $100,000 down on their first home.
That's awesome.
$100,000 on
That's awesome.
No drug dealing, just going to work, coming home and sacrificing. So
and those are the things that I want to help everyone to do, especially in my community, because I happen to look like that.
Yes.
And if we want to be a strong economic force,
yes,
personally and in our communities, then we're going to have to master personal money management.
And to the flip side, to the other races that are listening, because we are international, so we are open to helping everybody. But just to let you know, crime is reduced when home ownership is high. So if you get a culture to have owned something, then crime is less, robbery is less. Things are less because now somebody has a reason to wake up every morning and be a good citizen in society.
Correct.
And hold on to a job.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to just get on the soapbox of the negativity. I will also say a stat that people do not realize is Fort Bend County has the most black home ownership in the United States.
Wow, I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't realize that. Right here, Fort Bend
You just
County.
taught me something I didn't know.
Yes, Fort Bend County.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, so we definitely do some things right here in H-Town. We're going to head to our first break and love where you live. But in order to love where you live, you got to go ahead and get some financial literacy before you move forward. Let's go ahead and go to a break. It's a done deal. I am Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, and when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, please keep in mind, it's a done deal.
You want to excel, Don Davis is a great guy to work for. I mean, he's a great teacher and a great leader.
He's more than family. He's the guy that's actually helping me roll. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here. He's the guy rolling his sleeves up saying, come on, let's go move what you got to move.
When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a done deal. All right. We're back. Don Davis Luxury Real Estate Show, broadcasting live here from KKHT. Not sunny in South Houston today, but we're getting some warm financial advice from Mrs. LaShonda Johnson, the Houston Housewives official, right?
Houston Housewives of Finance.
Finance official. Houston Housewives of Finance official. But you know that's everybody. You know women make the decisions when it comes to.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you said that because the future is female.
Yes.
So shout out to my ladies.
Yes, definitely.
The future is definitely female.
Happy wife, happy life. And like I said, when I take out homeowners looking for homes, if a gentleman says, hey, Don, I want to go look at houses, I said, is your wife?
Your wife?
If she's not with you, we can reschedule until the decision maker is present. But
it's funny that you bring that point up. I want to say something real quick on that because when it comes to gaining financial education, oftentimes the woman leads that journey. And so many times, too many times, in all cultures, I'm seeing that the woman says, oh, my husband's, he's not going to come or he doesn't want to participate. And I'm saying, no, this is a journey that has to be taken with your spouse. But, it's true. Women are leading in a lot of ways, especially as far as consumerism is concerned. Women they're leading the way. Well,
I'm going to have to invite you back for more shows because you're making me go ahead. Now I'm going to have to translate. So it's not that the guy does not want to attend. Mm-hmm. The attendance of a male in an environment like that, you are you put people in a vulnerable situation.
Yes.
And the man wants to look like he has his household taken together.
I get that.
So I totally get where you're coming from, and I agree with what you're saying. But maybe you should do the male concept 101.
Okay, so let me ask you a question as being a male.
Okay.
I understand the pride issue.
Yes, that's definitely what it is.
And we absolutely know pride comes before a fall.
Exactly.
Right?
And eventually we're going to be in the room anyway.
Correct. So at some point, you have to be willing to bring those walls down so that your family can achieve financial success.
Exactly. And that's...
So why wouldn't you do that?
Well, you know what? So now we're going to a deeper level. So let's touch on this. A lot of people's bad character and bad spending habits are really not financial. They're emotional.
I agree. They're connected to emotions and deep-rooted things, yes.
So we were talking about good debt, bad debt. Mm-hmm. Some people they become nervous and they go shopping. Some people become nervous and they go drinking.
Yes.
Some people become nervous, and so under certain pressures, that's when they get off budget.
Absolutely.
I noticed on your Facebook page you say, hey, everybody, it's the weekend. Don't get off budget.
No, yes, stay the course. But, in order for you to do those things and make those decisions, it's very, very important that you are rooted in the proper education. Mm-hmm. So I do want to say real quick that oftentimes people don't get that education because they're afraid of the cost. So the National Campaign for Financial Literacy, our goal is to educate 1 million people, but we're doing it for free.
Wow.
So you can come to our workshops and participate for absolutely, I think the materials actually are $6.
Wow.
We're talking about our Saving Your Future book. We're talking about a workbook that allows you it's a participatory workshop where you can learn, you have a reference point, you find out where you physically are. There's 5 workshops. And so I like one of my colleagues, her name is Tony, shout out to Tony Sanders.
Hey.
And she says, it's 52 weeks in a year. You just give us 5 to help you become financially literate.
Wow. That's awesome.
So,
that's a great ROI. I'm all about ROI.
So I do want to give my office address and my contact information. My office address is in West Houston, and it's 11111. That's 5 ones, Suite 100, and that's Houston, Texas 77079. Okay. And my phone number is 832-807-4200. If you are serious and you want to change your life financially and you want to receive education, just call me. You can also text me. I have a text code.
Okay.
And you can text Build Wealth to 31996.
Build Wealth to 3199.
All one word, Build Wealth.
Okay.
And then I'll help you.
Yeah, and you also have a podcast too that they can
Yes, The Money Factor. The Money Factor is every Monday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the Sphere. You can follow the Sphere podcast network. And we're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. We're everywhere.
Nice.
So if you really want to get educated, there is no excuse.
Exactly. The Money Factor. And I'm all about financial literacy, financial education. As a matter of fact, you were saying the loan and how it's done for a home and how we need to go in not purchasing at the maximum of our limits. I really think my most
Absolutely
wise homeowners, believe it or not, are the homeowners who get the mortgage based on one of their salaries. So if it's a couple, they don't exceed what one person can afford.
I can tell you that's really smart to do. If a married couple can live off the income of one,
correct,
and save the other income, you are really putting yourself
You're ahead of the game.
in a very good place. And so it's not just about saving too. You also have to make sure you're saving in the right places.
Exactly.
Where you're getting the most interest. I shared with you guys.
The most interest is rule of 72.
Rule of 72. You have to understand that, which is how long it takes your money to double. So the issue is, again, we don't understand these things, so we can't get excited about receiving 0.03% interest on a savings account.
Now I'm talking to my rich people, because I have poor listeners, I have middle class listeners, and that's why we can relate to all aspects.
Absolutely.
By the way, you mentioned you are originally from Third Ward, originally from Houston, Texas.
I was born and raised in Third Ward for a small period of time. Then I moved to California and lived there as a kid, but I came back and lived there. So yes.
And the reason I mention that is I too have seen all aspects and income brackets, and funny, it seems like sometimes our rich people, our rich consumers, our rich listeners have money sitting stagnant, like you said, 0.03.
In places where it's not growing. I mean, I shared with you Thursday, 3 of our top banks, what they're giving right now. Chase is giving 0.01%. I can say this is public information. Bank of America is the max that they're giving is 0.07%. And Wells Fargo 2.10% if you have and maintain a $25,000 balance.
So I need to put $25,000 in your bank while you invest my money in other. Oh, they don't want to tell you that.
No, you have to keep it there too.
Yeah, but by the way, they're
have and maintain.
But just letting you know that they're investing your money.
Yes,
they're putting your money to work.
Absolutely.
While you.
Yes.
Giving you crumbs.
You put your money there, they loan it to me at a high interest rate.
Exactly.
And then they're making money on that. And then my savings account is growing at not even a 1%. So literally my money is not going to double in my lifetime, my children's lifetime, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren's lifetime. So we're not winning financially because we're not aware of these type of things. So we've got to get smart, get educated, get serious, change. And then we have to make sure that we enlist the right support.
And that's great for a segue into why you should put 20% down on a home and pay your own property taxes annually. Because when you escrow, all the bank is doing is investing your property taxes in other sources and then paying your taxes at the end of the year. It's pretty much saying, give me that money. You don't know what to do with it. I'll invest it. So,
yes.
so that's why you have to become financially literate, not only in the residential side, the personal side, but on the business side. Because I feel like anybody who once becomes literate in your class, then they know how to diversify and do some other things. So the way they can retire sooner and
Absolutely.
also avoid some taxing that could happen
Absolutely.
as well. So, go ahead.
We talked about building the proper financial foundation.
Yes.
And it starts with being properly protected, protecting yourself as the asset accumulator.
Exactly.
You are the asset accumulator. So why would you build assets and you yourself as the asset accumulator, you're not properly protected?
And I like what you posted on your Facebook. I don't know if you wrote it or somebody else wrote it, but finding a good man at the club is not a financial plan.
That's not a plan. I mean, these days, when you come to our class, actually workshop 4, which is retirement planning,
Yes.
it gives a pie chart, and it literally divides up how people are retiring.
Okay.
And spouse is on there. That would be spouse, significant other. That only accounts for about 6%, 7%.
See.
So you're that's not a plan.
Nah, because if he has a car accident or something like that, you know what I mean. You're done just like that.
No.
So that's why it's all about strategy. And I'm blessed to have a wife. I'm telling you, I'm good on that side, on sort of savings and stuff like that. But definitely, you want to definitely realize that we have to plan for ourselves, and we
Yes.
also have to understand that. If we could live off one salary, then we're ahead of the game. We also need to
Absolutely.
focus on the life insurance and the financial literacy segment of it. We're going to go
Yes.
ahead and go to a break real quick, and then we're going to come back and hit you with a few houses. Once again, Don Davis and LaShonda Johnson. Love's going to get you. Love learning about your finances.
Yes.
Please keep in mind, it's a done deal. Feel free to visit DonDavisLuxuryRealtyGroup.com.
Done deal.
Yes. We're back. Love where you live, love learning about your finances, and love improving your finances. Speak to those dry bones. TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, get up, dry bones, and walk. My credit's not over. My credit's not dead. I'm just going to contact LaShonda, and I'm going to come to one of her classes, and we will walk again, buried alive. So I just want to go ahead and also mention that we were featured in a couple of magazines this week. DVLRG, Don Davis Luxury Realty Group, In Town Magazine. You can find it in Spring Branch, Hillshire, St. Hedwig, Piney Point, you name it. A lot of financial literacy going on over there, Memorial Thicket. And then also want to let you guys know that we do have a California builder that just bought 200 acres in Cypress. So it's going to be called Bridge Creek. Yeah, California builder just bought 200 acres, and it happens to be named after our videography company today, William Lyon Homes. So I guess one of your ancestors is good building on 200 acres in Cypress. So I definitely want to let you know Cypress is rocking and rolling when it comes to residential real estate. Then I also want to touch on the fact that the luxury market is finally picking back up. It looks like California has 1 million homes, over $1 million. New York has about 300,000. Florida has 120,000. Massachusetts has 99,000. And Texas has 93,000. So we finally made it to the top 5 in the luxury market.
And California beat New York.
Yes, California beat New York. That's what happens when you make things legal that aren't supposed to be legalized. Nah, do what you like. CBD, oil yourself to death. I don't care. As long as you don't mess with my finances. But also, the last but not least, want to share the fact that we were mentioned in the Houston Business Journal. Yes, we just leased the space on the Martha Turner Sotheby's. Martha Turner's going to be relocating to the Amagi Bank building. So we look to expand from the 5th floor to the 6th and 7th floor over the next few years, and we just might have to go get powered by EXP. I don't know, we're in negotiation, but stay tuned, because DDLRG, when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a done deal. We only got about 45 seconds left. Once again, LaShonda, go ahead and give them your contact information, and the next time they can see you. We really enjoyed having you. Really want you to come back.
Well,
I don't know if you can be on more than one podcast.
I can.
As that, you might have signed a non-compete or something.
Remember, I'm a woman. We know how to multitask.
Oh, well, that is true.
Okay, so real quick here, you can call me at 832-807-4200. My next workshop is Wednesday at 7 p.m. If that doesn't work for you, you can come out on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Actually, today at 3 p.m., I'm also doing a workshop at 11111 Katy Freeway, Suite 100. That's through our World System Builder National Campaign for Financial Literacy, our campaign to educate 1 million people by 2020.
1 million people by 2020. Love's going to get you Don Davis. It's a done deal. DDLRG. See you next week. Thanks for coming out. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.